Ooh. We can't get anything rolling right here. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. How is everybody doing? It's another TikTok Trash Tuesday, everybody. Holy crap, and happy Cinco de Mayo for all of you who celebrate, and who amongst us doesn't? Because, come on, let's be honest. It's just like St. Patrick's Day, isn't it? It's really just another excuse to drink. It is. It's just another excuse to drink. That's fine. And you know, who doesn't want an excuse to drink at some point? You know? I know I certainly do. So how's everybody doing? Hope you're doing great. Howdy, 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 howdy to you for that one. What's up? What's up? Had a very eventful day today. I was yesterday. I was supposed to go to the dentist today, but yesterday I got a call and they were like, "Hey, the doctor had a big thing, man. So we can't do it. Sorry about it." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, no problem, man. We'll reschedule." And they're like, "Let's do it tomorrow." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll do it tomorrow, 11 a.m." Okay. Well, looks like that time is gone now. And they're like, "Okay, well, wait till Monday." So that's fun. That's fun. I'm your first like thing. I don't know about that. I actually believe that I was the first like for this because I liked my own thing because I wanted to kick it off. And I wanted to see like people wanted to see the show. So like I hit that first like myself. I'll admit it. It's fine. It's fun. By the way, everybody, speaking of somebody that said the word congratulations, congratulations to us indeed, ladies and gentlemen. 24,000 subscribers on this here channel. I really appreciate it. Financially, though, the month's been fucking awful. It's been atrocious. But that is A-okay. Ebbs and flows. That's how the YouTube game goes and everything. And hopefully we'll make new videos and somebody will, watch those. And hopefully you can sit there and like this video as well. And once you do that, hit that hype button. That's the big one. People don't understand that the hype button even exists. So if you are on mobile right now, you hit that like button, it's going to slide a little deal over and it says hype. Hit that hype button. Do that, and you become one of the best dirty babies out there. We really appreciate you. Love you, love you, love you. And we got a big one for you. We got a big old chock-a-block full of TikTok trash to go through. For those of you that don't know, what happens on TikTok Trash Tuesday is throughout the week, I scroll through TikTok. And if there is a movie-related TikTok, I pause on that and I go, oh, crap, that's movie-related. I can talk about that. I then save that to my phone, bring it back here, and on Tuesday, I load up everything that I've got, shoot it out to my computer and say, all right, we're going to put all these together. I put them all in order, and then I come back here to review them with you. And the dog walk around in the background and make way too much noise and make me want to go insane. But hey, that's part of the gig. I'm not Hassan Piker. I won't shock my dog. I won't do it. I won't do it. As cool as the kids might want to make it out to be. No. Yes, this is we are having a little bit of drinky poo tonight on account of the Cinco de Mayo. I had myself some tacos, and not just regular white people tacos where you just browned up some ground beef and stuff like that. No sirree Bob, no sir. I marinated chicken in my kind of garlic and chipotle in adobo sauce and everything. Marinate that. I think I did like 2 days, almost accidentally for 2 days. Then I made that up and put it on some tacos and a little bit of cheese in there, a little bit of sour cream and whatnot. So it's been a good Cinco de Mayo so far, and hope you're having a good time as well. Let's get into it, gang. TikTok Trash Tuesday 41. Let's get going. Get on the right damn one there. Well, here we are. Yeah, another major. I forgot to do the change. I hope you haven't been listening to my fucking. Oh my god. Have you been listening to the? Oh my god. I'm really gonna. people. I'm going to have to shout at you, Alex. Why you let me get away with having that audio? What the hell is wrong with you? I got no comments. I got no, hey, by the way, the audio sounds like acid's coming through. Guys, look out for me. Show me a little bit of shit in the comments, for God's sakes. Holy moly. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Thank you. Now we can actually, okay, we're sounding good. See, there we go. We're making quesadillas. We are all, well, yeah, listen, if you don't drink, I don't want you out there drinking. Don't do that. I don't for those of you that do not partake, no. You slow your roll and you have yourself a Diet Coke like a good gentleman, which I do most of the time, to be honest with you. It's funny, people walk in and they see the giant bar with all the booze and stuff on it, and they just go like, oh, wow. I'm like, if you only knew how long those bottles stayed filled. so few and far between are the drinking days here and everything. But, every now and then. All right, let's go, everybody. Oh, by the way, so the first one is me. Apropos of yesterday. So I'm going to take me off the screen, so I'm not reacting to me in real time. You'll just watch me and what I said as of yesterday. Well, here. Damn it. Hold on. What the fuck is even happening here? Hold on. My sound is not going well. One more time. Sweet Jeebus. Well, here we it's not fucking doing it. Hold on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how it's doing this. Give me just a sec. I'm sorry, gang. We are. What the hell? Another fucking all right. Now I'm getting a little bit angry. Hold on. No kidding. It's just wanting to go out of the computer screen and not out of the thing, so you guys can actually friggin' hear it. I don't know what's happening. All right, hold on. What a nightmare, bro. Well, here we are. Fuck. I've never had this happen before. And the dog just chomping away, making for the greatest of sounds. Another May 4th. You know what? All right, now I can't hear anything. That's not good. But it is. All right, sweet heavenly Lord. Hi, everybody. My name is Adam, and I'm unprofessional as shit. Sometimes after you've had a couple of races here on a what you call it, Cinco de Mayo, things go a little bit differently. And, you do what you got to do, and you try to make the best of it. Hi to you as well. Let's go. TikTok Trash Tuesday. Holy shit. And you react to me from yesterday. Well, here we are. Another May 4th. You know what it is. This day is stupid. I hate this day. I think it's so dumb. I think it was invented by a middle school teacher. The ones who love to wear vests. Looks exactly like that. And she just loves puns. She's a big pun fan. Not that big pun, but a big fan of puns. And she's like, I'm really cooking with this one, kids. May the 4th be with you. Oh, God, it's so clever, Janet. It's so clever. Ugh, I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much, and I hate anyone who enjoys it. And I know I'm going to hear people say, oh, can't these people have fun? No, not like this. Not like this. This isn't fun. This is stupid. This is you convincing yourself that something fun. Just stop it.
I'll tell you one thing right now. That guy is smart. That guy is smart. He's correct. I tell you what, we're kicking off TikTok Trash Tuesday with some of the greats. It's true. It's true though, everybody. May the 4th is stupid. I hate it. I hate that Star Wars Day. I hate punny bullshit like that. And it's funny. I know you're all thinking, Adam, you do so many alliterative things all the time. You don't like puns? No, thank you. But yeah, May the 4th be with you. That's stupid. I hate it. It's not fun to me. It's just dumb. You saw the video. That's what I mean. Hold on. What are we saying here? He's so smart that he got his audio right the first time. Hey, how dare you? Darn, was hoping to see you calling yourself an idiot. Well, listen, there are so many other times that I can and do call myself an idiot. So, don't tempt me to get started because, boy, howdy, I will. All right, what's next?
Cool World is one of the most underrated movies visually that did that thing that movies did back then where they combined 2D animation and real world people.
I saw this girl recently, and this was the first video of hers I saw, and I watched like maybe 10 more seconds or so. She seems really great and is putting together these very cool little kind of video essays here in short form and stuff like that. Really, really cool. So I'm excited to check this out.
This is day 8 of finding niche artists that define their childhood.
And I've got a couple more of these throughout this TikTok Trash Tuesday. That's because the algorithm just goes, oh, you like these? And I say, yes, I do.
If you're new here, this is my latest series where I dive into artists that help define the visual culture that we grew up on. And today, we're looking at the artists behind Cool World. At the heart of Cool World, Ralph Bakshi is the legendary animator who loved pushing boundaries. Bakshi had already worked on animated films such as Fritz the Cat and Heavy Traffic that explored adult themes and urban grit with surreal storytelling. For Cool World, Bakshi envisioned a world where cartoons and humans collide in a dark and unpredictable city that blends lots of chaos and animation with live action reality. And of course, there was Who Framed Roger Rabbit that had already shown that idea of cartoons that shared the screen with humans. And yes, there are debates on which movie is better, but
are there debates on whether Cool World or Roger Rabbit's a better movie? I feel like I saw Cool World once. I remember seeing all the advertisements and stuff as a kid, and I was just like, it looked interesting, and it's got a sexy animated woman, so as like a preteen or whatever the hell it was, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm interested in whatever this is, but not, that was something that my parents were going to go take me to see. Obviously, I think I saw it later on video and was just like, okay, maybe it was something, wasn't all that to me, but that was a very long time ago. I couldn't tell you if it was any decent or not. She seems to think that this happened more often than it did. At least the Backstreet comment. All right, all right, just all right there now. Come on now.
But in terms of art, Bakshi's vision had grit and edge and very much a surreal energy. The film's visual identity really came alive through the concept art of Barry E. Jackson. He was already known for album covers and commercial art, and Jackson's real magic was translating imagination into vivid, immersive environments. His designs defined the personality of the animated world. On Cool World, Jackson crafted the city's twisted, dreamlike architecture and painted backgrounds that guided every move of the animators. After Cool World, Jackson helped shape visual worlds for movies like The Nightmare Before Christmas and even Shrek, amongst many others. And today he continues creating and teaching and mentoring new generations.
You ain't tough, dude? Oh, you don't even know how tough I am. You don't even know how tough, buddy.
Generations of artists. His YouTube channel is a
Bad. You remember that?
treasure trove of all of his past work, so I highly recommend checking it out. Cool World blended adult themes, surreal environments, and experimental visuals. Even if it was misunderstood at its release, its artistic ambition remains a masterclass in vision and collaboration. If you really love seeing how films combine creativity, risk, and bold visuals, I really think this one deserves a second look, and a lot of credit to the artists who made it real.
Listen, I believe that's true. I like just that video alone made me kind of want to go back and rewatch that movie. It's been a minute, so why not? Are you tough enough for the Fabulous Thunderbirds? I don't know about that. Who's that tough, right? Banmu? Sure. I'll tell you what. I'll do this. I will. I don't know how to do this. Hold on. You know what I need to do? Hold on. Give me half a second here because I've never done. This is something that I haven't done before. And I need to do at some point. And that some point is now. That some point is now. Guess what? MVD, you're a moderator now. Send this man to the nether realm. At least you could come up with something else other than just the one ban me. That's a little lame, bud. Hell yeah, boy. You've been promoted. You've been promoted. And all of a sudden it stops. That's the power of the pen, my friends. That is the power of the pen. You know who else is getting one? Two mods now. Suck it. All right, here we go. Guess what? Guess what is happening? Next video, let's go.
One of my favorite Mel Brooks films could be considered underrated today in comparison to his other works, but
I think that's a very true statement with what I just saw and what I imagine that we're about to talk about here. But yeah, I think it's one of the unsung ones. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have something for you right after this video. I want to watch the video. We're gonna talk about it. Stick around because I'm gonna go over to the other room and I'm gonna come back with a special treat.
at the time of its release, it was actually considered one of his critical best. I'm talking about 1976's Silent Movie. After the success of his popular genre spoofs Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, Mel Brooks wanted to parody Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, and the entire genre of silent films through a meta look at the film industry. His idea? A comedy about a trio of Hollywood veterans on a mission to make the first silent movie in 40 years. The film starred himself as director Mel Funn, Dom DeLuise as Dom Bell, and Marty Feldman as Marty Eggs. Using his star power, Brooks made sure to pack the film full of famous cameos, including Liza Minnelli, James...
Hey everybody, it's Liza Minnelli. Are you really sad that they won't let me talk in this movie? I really wanted to talk in this movie, but they said you gotta keep it quiet, Liza. And I love this bit too, where it's clearly James Caan is just like, boys, I'm going to have my shirt off. James, we haven't written that into the script here. He said, no. going to have my shirt off. Okay? James Caan. That's what I do. Drink it in, ladies. Drink it in.
Caan, Anne Bancroft, Burt Reynolds, and Paul Newman.
It's a fun, stupid little silent film. It's great.
Along with Sid Caesar as the Big Picture Studios executive and Bernadette Peters as Vilma Kaplan. Although one of the best cameos and jokes comes from mime artist Marcel Marceau, who says quite literally the only word in the entire film.
No!
The film follows Mel, Dom, and Marty as they attempt to recruit big stars for their silent movie to save Big Picture Studios from a takeover. Hijinks and misadventures ensue with plenty of slapstick. Interestingly, the character Mel's journey to prove that a silent film could make money in the 1970s wasn't unlike the real Mel's journey making this movie. Although they greenlit the movie, 20th Century Fox was wary about putting a silent film into production without any safeguard. And
I mean, could you blame them? I mean, there's a group of executives and stuff who will look at somebody that wants to do a black and white film and look at them and say, listen, shoot it in color. And then we'll put it into black and white, and like, we'll do it in black and white, but just shoot it in color just in case. You know, because if you shot it in black and white, there's no going back. But if you shoot it in color, you can throw it into black and white. But you know, if you know anything about, you know, color science and stuff like that, it's never quite the exact same thing, especially once you get into the film realm of all of it. But this isn't like that. This isn't like bringing out a black and white film. This is bringing out a film where no one speaks the entire time, save for the one Marcel Marceau that you just saw there. Tough sell. But I mean, if there's anybody who could sell something like that, Mel Brooks is that guy.
Requested that Mel record audio just in case. Mel refused and banned the use of microphones on the set of Silent Movie to remove that as an option, saying it was like being asked to bring television cameras to a radio program taping just as a safeguard. In the end, Mel won, and Silent Movie remained silent, for the most part.
No!
Great movie, and another great thing. Stick around. I'm going to be right back. Hold on. I don't want to leave while I was thinking. I thought I had it right at hand. I don't. It's somewhere lodged in the, what do you call it? The soundtrack portions. But I actually have Silent Movie, the soundtrack on vinyl and everything. It is great. It's another great thing that you can just kind of put on there in the background. Very unpopular. I think I got voted that in high school.
Certain movies should only be watched on VHS.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want your opinion on this one. I'm a little bit divided. We'll listen to Matt's opinion here and everything. See where he's coming from. But there are a group of people who would prefer to watch something on VHS as opposed to DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, or things like that. I've never quite understood it. I mean, I can understand to a degree certain things because I've done them before with groups. We've had our VisArt video group together. We would do, what do you call it? Man, the alcohol's going to the head real quick tonight. We'd have these kind of potlucks. We'd have these VHS potlucks, right? So everybody would bring a VHS tape of a movie that they haven't seen, and that was the key, is you have not seen the movie that you are bringing to the party, right? And they put all the videotapes out there, and then everyone looks at them and says, I haven't seen this movie. But if someone has seen that movie goes out of contention, and you vote still from the rest of them. So then once you get all the ones and no one has seen any of the movies that are on the table, you then vote on which movie you watch, and that is which movie that you all watch together for the first time as a group on VHS. It is an absolute amazing time. And then we watched a second feature afterwards of whatever one that we were all kind of like really was hoping was going to be the one that won the vote, but didn't, or the one, or we would also, or either watch one of the ones that only like one person had watched, but maybe no one else had watched. Something like that. But we were all like, oh, no one but this guy and this guy has seen this one, but everyone else would want to see it for the first time. So you would do something like that. That would be the second feature. And then after that, we would go to the bar and we would get drunk at the bar and watch, Battleship on mute at the bar. Battleship or Kung Pao Enter the Fist, I remember, was one of the movies that was playing up at the bar and everything. So that would be our entire evening, is a double feature on VHS and then getting drunk at the bar watching Battleship on mute. Thank Christ.
And I don't even mean movies that are only on VHS, so you have no other choice, or movies that are rare and sought after on VHS, so you kind of owe it to yourself.
See that History of Violence right there? That was the last VHS released in mass quantities. That was printed out, all that kind of jazz and stuff like that. So for whatever, I think it's a stupid, it's an internet reason why that videotape has now become more super valuable and everything, because whatever. It's like, oh, it was the last one they ever did. It's like, yeah, they printed a gajillion of them too.
To watch it in that format. I'm really talking about movies that strictly should only be watched on VHS. It only makes sense to watch it on VHS because I think ultimately,
like Black Devil Doll from Hell, because that looks like it was shot on VHS. If you're not watching that on VHS, I don't know what you're doing. But if you're watching that on VHS, you may be in some kind of a cursed house.
Some people, they just can't wrap their mind around, like, well, why would you want to watch a movie on an inferior format?
Yes.
Well, it depends on what your intentions are.
If my intentions are to be blurry and go like, what's going on, man? Then VHS it is.
The obvious answer is always going to be horror. Of course, there are slashers that it's just like, this just feels correct to be watching this on VHS. And if it's an X rental, even better, because it fits in with the idea of like horror is taboo and immoral. So I would also submit like a raunchy comedy like a Porky's. And if the case can be a little beat up and worn, that also adds to it.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that. And if Porky's kind of looked a little shitty, you wouldn't really care because it's Porky's. It's a dirty, skeezy kind of movie anyhow.
Or something really stupid like Hamburger the movie with a nice painting on the front. You want to be...
Which is better, everybody? Hamburger the movie or Hot Dog the movie or Fart the movie? Everybody forgets about Fart the movie. It is a real movie.
Holding that in your hand and looking at that image while you're watching.
Hold on, let me make a... All right, I've created a poll for everybody. We're going to go ahead and start that poll. It is, we're going to show that there. Yes, go ahead and show that. Where you at, fella? Oh, well, go ahead and fucking stop that. Okay, here we go. Here's your poll. Which is better? Hamburger the movie, Hot Dog the movie, or Fart the movie? Place your bets below, please.
This non-stop crap-o-rama. But the movies don't have to be antisocial. There are just mid-'80s adventures that belong on VHS. Something like The Legend of Billie Jean. This sounds correct with an analog hiss. And some people might say The Goonies, I mean, maybe, but I feel like The Quest is much better on VHS than any other format.
I think like your best of the bests and stuff would be a good a VHS kind of watch there and everything. That's how I remember watching them. Bloodsport for sure. Bloodsport for sure. I'm gonna say Bloodsport's number one. I'm gonna say Bloodsport's number one for me, just on account of, well, I'll say Bloodsport's like number one. Child's Play 2 specifically is number two, because I think Child's Play 2 would look better if you had like if it's like a little more shitty, a little more dirty and blocky and whatnot. I think that would actually kind of help that and whatnot. I think that's not bad. That's not bad.
You know, because The Goonies is a perfect representation of the mid-'80s, but it was also trying to be a pirate.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I want to see something myself here, just because this is new to me. I don't know. All right, I don't know things. Hey, StreamYard. Hopefully you're monitoring all this. How the hell do I make this work? What is this, and how do I make this work properly? I'm sure you dropped a tutorial and I didn't view it. But could you send it to me again? Because you boy dumb. You boy dumb as hell. All right, we're gonna hide that. We'll figure something out one of these days. God damn it. All right, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to turn the AC on. It's a little warm in here. And it's also the booze. I'm not going to lie to you. Jeez Louise, no wonder it was 74 in here. I was just like, no wonder it's a little warm, and then you got the lights on you and everything, and then the pressure of the show, and then shit's not going right. I'm fine. That was acting. You're welcome. And see. So how drunk will Adam get? It depends on how crazy those super chats get. All right, I gotta stop. I'm already.
Movie, and Donner was drawing from his own experience of movies growing up. I feel like a movie like The Quest only makes sense in the 80s and could only exist on a VHS format. I think similarly, when discussing the VHS era and the video store era, somebody like Lunch Meat, when they do a collab and they put it out on VHS, it's like, well, yes, this makes more sense than anything. I'd be watching it like this. And sometimes the filmmakers just straight up make the aesthetic choice.
Gummo on VHS. Any of those like Greg or Rocky films, I saw those on VHS, and like there's no other way to watch those, in my opinion. Those are just like scummy, gross movies and stuff like that. They all, some of them are neon but still look gross.
Like The House of the Devil, they released this on VHS.
Hell yeah, they should too. That movie was straight up just like old school 80s horror, slow burn, looked absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Was their intention. And even like a movie like Lisa Frankenstein, where the filmmakers didn't intend it to be watched on VHS, the people made that decision for them. And you can get a copy of this on VHS. And it feels so right. I really don't remember at any point in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s anybody watching a VHS tape and going, this is awful! Maybe you just got a crappy TV. Maybe you just don't know how to take care of your VCR. But
no, listen, that is very much true. I have at least 2 or 3 broken VCRs in my charge right now. Anytime I go to a Goodwill, which is not nearly as much. I drive by them all the time, but I'm just like, it's a pain in the ass to get out. And guess what? I never find anything. I never find anything. It's all gone or all garbage. But I want a VCR, but one that works. And that's the toughest part. And then you put in one of your tapes and stuff, and then it eats it up, and you're like, well, that's another one out of the collection, as it were.
Really, this is all just to say, why would you watch the movie
Yes. 100% yes. Why would you watch The Ring on anything but VHS? And listen, I want to get The Ring on 4K. It came out not too long ago. I heard it looks fantastic. But it's about a VHS tape, dog. Why are you not watching it on VHS? But I will say this. Having it, because I did not buy this on VHS. I bought it on DVD because I was that dude at the time. But I was living in Orlando. I had even in my apartment, even in my little 1-bedroom apartment, I had 5.1 home theater in a box surround sound from a Sony. It was pretty good. So much so that my neighbors complained every now and then. But I put on The Ring. I was like making popcorn or something. So I put The Ring in the DVD player in there and everything. And you know how it sits on a DVD menu. So it sits on this menu. And I think I finally sit down and I hear a telephone ring kind of in the background. What sounds like it's coming from the background, which was where my actual phone was. And I thought my phone was ringing, but it was the DVD menu itself. And which, of course, if you know, once you watch that VHS tape, the phone rings. Pick it up. The phone ring says 7 days. You have 7 days and you'll die. Really cool bit that you could never get on VHS. You could only get on DVD, where it just kind of does a little ring in the background. Very, very cool.
Ring, either the original or the remake, on any other format? It literally makes no sense. Even seeing it in the movie theater, we're just killing time until we can watch it on the format that God intended, on beautiful magnetic tape.
Now, I will say this. The one movie that I thought, there's a couple. I want to remember the right one, because there's many movies that have done it, and only one has done it really correctly. I want to say it was Unfriended. But there's one of these movies that takes place exclusively on the screen of a laptop, right on a MacBook or something like that. So like right on a laptop, and so you zoom into everything from Skype calls to instant messaging and all this kind of crap, and they go back and forth, and they're telling you the horror story via this screen. And I thought the way to watch this, of course, would be in the black on a laptop sitting right there. And especially if you know the ending of the movie, yowzer. That would have been a good one. So that would be my vote for things like that. Let's see. One of my comic book friends is the psychiatrist. Hey. There's a version of Trap that is VHS. Like the Shyamalan Trap. Thoughts on the VHS horror series? I remember the first one. Saw the first one. Enjoyed the first one for what it was. Liked it well enough. Kind of the conceit and the idea of it all. I thought the shorts themselves were hit and miss. Some were better than others, but none I remember were like awful by any stretch of the imagination. I don't believe. Then I saw the second one, and I don't even remember if I did. I feel like I might have seen it all the way through, but I might not have. I might not have even watched that all the way through. Maybe it was, I don't know. I just kind of stopped watching and just stopped caring. I heard a lot of people say it's good stuff, but I don't know. I have 3 VCRs on the floor near me. If no idea if any work. That's the gamble, man. Is you turn that on and you just put in a tape, and you better hope that that's not a tape that you want to keep. because there's a good enough chance that it's just going to eat it up and spit it out, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Tommy Wiseau's The Room only on VHS works. No, my friend, I've seen it in the theater, and that's where it is only to be seen. I've seen The Room in the theater 3 times. I think 3 times. Once with Riff Tracks. Once with Greg Sestero in a Q&A session, and I think there was one more in there as well. So yeah, I've seen The Room on the big screen. On the silver screen is where it works best, my friend. On the silver screen, trust me. Oh, see, look, they're getting so nice. I love it. All right, everybody, let's get it. What's this? 3 times. Yeah, definitely gonna get out. All right.
As a female member of the gaming community, whatever his gamer tag is, believe him. If his gamer tag is Fart Ripper, believe him. If his gamer tag is Kitty Destroyer XXL, it might be hard to believe him, but believe him. Never be fooled, and I swear the gamer tag is the most honest thing he'll ever tell you. One of my ex's gamer tags was insanity, profanity, and all he did was swear and make me feel insane. This might be the best piece of advice I've ever given in my life.
All right, kids, I want to hear it. What's the gamer tag? Because I saw this, and my gamer tag comes from a movie, and I think she's correct. I think that hold on, let me get this up here. I think she's correct in that a movie or that like your gamer tag says everything about you. And you want to know what my gamer tag was? This is my gamer tag. Shaolin Dolomite. I don't think I have that one anymore, but like I think when I first got like Xbox Live, yeah, Shaolin Dolomite. That was the one. So yeah, we're exactly like our gamer tags. Exactly.
What are the
Oh. Ambiguous golden lion. Or am I saying that right? Ambrosius? We're just calling you lion here. that is the longest gamer tag I've ever heard in my life. A mouthful and a half. What do they just call you, a jerk ass? Top horror franchises, best and worst, part 3, and we're going to be celebrating this young man in maybe a video or two. So hang on tight for that. But what you got for us?
best and worst movies in the following horror franchises, part 3. I don't know how many more of these we can squeeze out, but let me know which franchises you want to see done next in the comments. In terms of Romero's Dead franchise, Dawn of the Dead is the absolute peak.
I know most people will believe that. I still believe it's Night of the Living Dead. I think Dawn of the Dead is too long, too bloated, too self-absorbed, and it was the moment that George Romero decided, I'm going to be the message guy. I feel like his first movie, like he kind of backed in to a message, and then was like, yeah, that's what I meant. I was doing it because of this, not because Dwayne was the best actor that could be found, but because, because I'm a good guy. I feel like there's revisionist history there. And then I feel like he's been kind of trying to do that and overdo it ever since then. And so that's when Romero, in my opinion, got preachy. And Dawn of the Dead is where he got preachy as all hell. Where it's just like, dude, we're 30 minutes about how consumerism is bad. And say what you will about Zack Snyder, and God knows we can. But the man gave us that whole bit about consumerism in about a minute and a half with a Richard Cheese song, and we got the same idea that consumerism is bad. All of these things in these times, blah, 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 blah. We got it within the span of 90 seconds and a fun little song and a little montage, if you will. We didn't need 45 minutes of being beat over the head with it as George would, do.
The mall setting is truly iconic. One of my go-to
Oh, the worst is anything past those two. I hate Land of the Dead. I didn't watch any of the other ones. I can't tell you. I stopped with Hopkins in Land of the Dead, just chewing on scenery. It was just, I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't. I'm like, no more, no mas.
comfort horror movies. Would anyone argue that Diary and Survival are the worst movies in this franchise?
If I'd have seen them, but I ain't see them because I ain't that big a dummy.
So bad that that's not even worth picking between the two, but I guess I'll go with Survival as the worst. In terms of paranormal activity.
Ooh, okay. Paranormal Activity, this one's easy. Number 3 is the best. Number 4 is the worst. Simple. With your best runner-up being the marked ones.
I actually think the third one is the best. It's the first to introduce and delve deeper into the Coven angle.
Yeah. But it is the second to go deeper in the lore, and that was what was so cool. Was 2 was a prequel to 1, and 3 was a prequel to 2. So like you kept going deeper, you kept going one layer, and what seemed like just kind of this very surface level thing in the first Paranormal Activity, then morphed itself into this kind of big giant lore thing. And then in number 4, as perhaps he'll talk about here in a moment, things fell off. And they were just like, we kind of tangentially touch on a little bit of stuff, but it never really brought anything else of significance to that lore. And then 5 comes out and we kind of get back on track with stuff. And the Mark ones was the one that makes you go like, what the hell is going on here? They did one more. I ain't watch it. I couldn't tell you about it, but it was the marked ones there that made me just go like, is this franchise back? Could this franchise be back? It might be back.
Which is easily the most intriguing angle of this entire franchise. The worst is Ghost Dimension, and it's not even part.
Oh, no. Ghost Dimension's better than 4. Ghost Dimension's better than 4. Ghost Dimension's not great. I saw that one. It's not great, but it's better than 4. It's better than 4. 4 doesn't need to exist. Where does it belong in the lore? What does it add or take away or do anything? What does it introduce? Nothing. It introduces nothing. There's no reason for that movie to be there. Get it out.
Particularly close. Just an absolute slog of a movie. The best VHS movie is
Oh, speaking of VHS, talking about it earlier. I'm getting choked up. I'm so surprised.
VHS 94. It has all the best segments: The Subject, Holy Hell, Storm Drain, Hail Ratma. For me, though, the worst VHS movie is VHS Viral. Not a memorable segment in the bunch, and the one that I'm least likely to rewatch.
And see, that's what kind of kills me too, is that like I know that we're working with kind of shorts within the greater text of whatever the fuck, however the setup is and whatnot, but we're going into like these kind of different, little mini movies and whatnot. And so if you don't like a movie, don't worry, there's a new one coming around the corner is certainly a thing. But I don't even like wasting my time when I get into like a 3-minute thing and going, oh, there's 6 more minutes of this drudge fest left. All right, let's go. So that's why I kind of, stick away from the VHS movies, I guess.
And when it comes to The Omen, I do think the original is the best, but you'd be surprised at how closely behind I have the first Omen. In terms of the worst, I was debating between the remake from 2006, but ultimately had to go with Omen 4: The Awakening.
I've only ever seen the original. It's one of those that like once you watch it, it's like why would I watch anything else? Why would you're not getting better than that? You're only going to be derivative and crappy. Why? Don't ruin it.
Made for TV movie in the bunch, but if you watch it as a parody movie, it's actually unintentionally hilarious.
That's fun. We'll see Pat a little later in the evening.
Every bus seat, movie theater, and bowling alley you've ever been in shares a design secret.
It's called tackiness.
That chaotic, ugly fabric covering the seats and floors, it's camouflage. The same principles defense agencies use to hide tanks are hiding coffee stains and chewed gum underneath
Other things you don't want to know about. As somebody who cleaned many a movie theater in his day, our theaters themselves, save for the steps that you would walk up and down, did not have carpet at all on account of we were a full service restaurant and everything as well. So we served a whole bunch of drinks and popcorn and food and whatnot. And then floors would get dirty, quite dirty. And so believe you me, I know what's on those floors.
you right now. Back in the 1930s, a London underground designer discovered that bright, clashing colors hide dirt better than dark ones. Your brain reads visual chaos as one smooth field instead of scanning for individual stains. In the transit world, they call this stuff moquette, and every inch is engineered to outlast the people sitting on it. Required to be at least 10
This couch is going to look better longer than you're alive. You'll die in this couch. Still looking good.
times more durable than your couch at home. Every one of these fabrics was designed for a single purpose: to make sure you never notice it exists. The ugliness isn't bad design. The ugliness is the design.
That's what I keep telling the ladies all the time. The ugliness is the design, okay? That's what you're working with.
Shout out to every high school charter bus that permanently seared that pattern into my brain.
Yeah, those all the charter buses look like that, didn't they? Even if your colors weren't that, they still look like that. Let's see. Truth, my gamer tags have been oh boy. I can't pronounce any of your shit ever, buddy. Draco Lynx, Trilianus, the Closet Dragon, and now Head Games with a Z, no less, with a Z. You've never seen Dawn of the Dead. I do believe it's worth seeing. If you see Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead is certainly worth seeing, and I would even say Day of the Dead is worth seeing. But they go like this. They lower in quality. They just do. What about Sam Neill now? Thank you. I try.
Has streaming ever saved a film from obscurity?
I would say so. It's had to at some point. At this span of time and everything, I'd say so, yeah.
Here's the thing. Years ago, a film would come out in theaters, it would flop, but then people would rediscover it later on TV or in video rental stores. It's a Wonderful Life flopped at the box office when it first came out. People did not turn out for it. This was the 1940s, and it faded into obscurity for the next several decades until the 1970s. Republic Pictures failed to renew the copyright, so it entered the public domain, meaning
we call that a whoopsie doodle.
TV channels could air it for free. And since it's about Christmas, it was a natural fit to air around Christmas time, and then it became a holiday classic. Something similar happened with Hocus Pocus. Even though it's set on Halloween, Disney had the brilliant idea to release it in the summer of 1993.
Boy, and that was the movie that my sister went to see, and I think we went to go see I think it was Rookie of the Year. I think it was Rookie of the Year. If it wasn't Rookie of the Year, it might have been the Beverly Hillbillies, but I'm fairly certain it was Rookie of the Year.
Where it really didn't make that much money. It made $53 million against a budget of $28 million, but reports indicate that Disney may have lost about $16 million during the film's theatrical run. But
yeah, it didn't make money. Everybody looks back at that movie and just goes like, ooh, that movie didn't make any money. My sister went to go see it because it looked like a little girl flick. But that was it. We went to go see, whatever it's either Beverly Hillbillies or whatever.
Then Disney started running it on ABC Family and Fox Family around Halloween time, and it became many people's favorite Halloween movie. Maybe that's the key instead. You need a
and nothing frightens kids more than Bette Midler. Am I right?
movie kind of centered around a holiday that can then run around that holiday and people will rediscover it. I know films like Madam Web will flop at the box office, and then when they get put on Netflix,
Madam Web will one day become one of the greatest known films of all time for sucking.
it'll enter the top 10 for a little bit, but it never feels like people reevaluate it or reassess it. You don't have to watch a Christmas movie around Christmas time if you don't want to, so if Netflix puts something that flopped at the box office on the platform, it doesn't necessarily mean people are going to watch it. And it feels like we're losing a lot of cult movies in the process.
Yeah, to a degree, but who's to say? Sam Neill plays adult Damien in the future Omen films. Oh, okay. Funky butt loving. Yeah. All right, Ribbit. Okay. All right. All right, we're back. You guys see this? Keeps it nice and cool. All right. Olay. Thought we'd keep with the theme of the evening.
I was sent screeners for 2 indie horror films recently, so let's talk about them.
Let's do.
The first of which is Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round, which will be available to watch on Screambox May 19th. And this is basically if Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was one of the 9 circles of hell. Subversive, disturbing, and genuinely gnarly as fuck at times. Like, there's a 20-minute torture scene towards the end that is hard to sit through. Genuinely enjoyed this, but I did think it overstayed its welcome a little bit.
Wow.
It would have been better served as a short film, but all in all, if you enjoy shit like Meet the Feebles or Mr. Crockett, which was on Hulu a couple years ago, this will be right up your alley. And the other screener I got sent over was from Victor over at RFN Pictures. His newest no-budget indie project is called Hellmare, and I absolutely fucking loved it. There's something unendingly charming about a group of friends that just love making horror movies together. Big time Trauma vibes in terms of the handcrafted DIY practical effects, but also from a humor perspective as well. But much to my surprise, they even got Lloyd Kaufman to appear as the creepy ass grandpa in this as well. A real meta horror concept about a movie within a movie within a movie. I wish I could tell everyone where to go watch this, but unfortunately they're still looking for someone to distribute this. So instead, bookmark this video and keep an eye out for this to release sometime in the near future, hopefully.
I have never watched Airplane before.
All right, sorry, I'm sending a picture of that movie to Bruce because he's Mr. low budget can do flick, and he needs to get in touch with some folk. Kurt Russell is so damn good in Christmas Chronicles. I didn't see that one. I heard good things. I think we almost watched it for HMP one week. The trailer looks amazing. Watching Airplane for the first time. I wonder if the jokes were going to be stale because perhaps he's heard them a whole bunch, or if it's gonna just kind of ring fresh and brand new, or maybe he's just so young that none of those jokes have hit his zeitgeist. Who knows?
And I'm watching it right now. Oh!
Green? No, thank you. I take it black. Like my man.
Ah! This guy.
They've cleared you of any blame for what happened on that raid. Isn't that good news?
There is only one river. There is only one sea. And it flows through you. And it flows through me.
Say what you will. She can sing, man. She can sing and was actually playing that guitar. That's not bullshit. That's nice.
Has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital?
What's that?
What is it?
It's a big,
building with
patients,
patients.
but that's not important right now.
That's my favorite. And that's not important right now.
The captain, I must speak to him.
Sure thing. Do you know what he had for dinner?
Yes, of course. We both had fish. Why?
Oh, it's nothing to be alarmed about. We'll be back to you very quickly.
Automatic pilot. There it is.
Oh, I didn't know Charlie Kirk was flying this plane.
Passengers now arriving. Please have all baggage claim checks ready to show attendant upon leaving the terminal.
Kramer hears about this.
See, here's the thing. These movies, they still hold up. They're still good, even if you're a ding-dong watching it on an Apple MacBook here.
The shit's gonna hit the fan.
Oh, no.
Just kidding.
That was when we just had it was just called gay character. It's hilarious. Shut up. I do love watching young people discover airplane. Then and other things too, man. There's certain ones. Though I will admit, I think there has become a cottage industry online of people lying about shit that it's like, my first time listening to X. And then you see it and you're just like, all right, listen. Ain't no way you made it this many years on this planet and you ain't heard that song. Get it. Get out of here. I made it to 40 years old and I never heard Freebird. Fuck you.
Chris Stuckman's Shelby Oaks fails because he's a film critic.
Has anyone seen this movie? Chris Stuckman is a YouTuber, film reviewer, and stuff like that. I got to be honest with you. I find him boring as all hell. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but like his reviews, his delivery, for me and what I'm looking for is not my speed. It's not what I'm looking for in a review. It's too low key. It's too just, it's bland. It's bland, to be quite honest. And like, for somebody that's doing it at the level that he's doing it and stuff, you just want to go show your face, show your face, your excitement, that you're receiving those YouTube checks every month. Start making yourself feel like you're earning that, as opposed to just like, oh, here I am, guys. Yeah, it's another movie. It was good. It was bad. It was whatever. But it is the movie that I saw, and that's it. And it's like it's fucking boring. It's fucking boring. It's like there's nothing interesting to it. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised then that his movie might not be that wildly interesting, because his reviews themselves were honestly quite pedestrian and boring in my opinion.
Now, obviously not because critics can't make good movies, but because he quite literally just took what he loved from other horror films and stole those ideas.
Well, there's another guy that does that, and his name is Quentin Tarantino. And I hate to, say it, but look at the man's work. Kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it? So you can do that. You just got to be good at doing it.
Shelby Oaks' lore has almost no original content, and it's a shame because the setup is promising and the direction is actually pretty good. I'd love to see Stuckman get another chance, but maybe let's hire a different writer.
He's just like, homie, your words stink. I've seen a few Stuckman videos. Didn't know he made a movie. Yeah, he got one out in theaters and everything, distributed by a full ass company and whatnot. Yeah, it did what you might expect a movie of that size and level to do and everything. So, good for him. What movie do I have in theaters? Who am I? Who am I? Some asshole on the internet that nobody fucking watches? The answer is yes. I am that man.
Today is my birthday, and to celebrate, I compiled a list of the scariest horror movies from every year I've been alive.
Pat, happy birthday, my friend. We're about to go through 40 films, I think. I guess I didn't really think about that when I stopped this thing. But yeah, man, Happy birthday to you. I just had a birthday myself, getting up to the 44 myself, so hitting the double fours on you. So, hey, finally over the hill, as they say. Let's see what his top 40 is of the last 40 years.
Do with this list what you will. Bookmark it, send it to a friend, argue about how you didn't like Skinamarink
Rap about it on TikTok Trash Tuesday. That's right.
in the comments. I don't give a shit. Here we go. Starting in 1986 with Poltergeist 2, I still think about the tequila worm scene on a regular basis. Anguish is the scariest movie you've never heard.
Oh, Anguish is so good. I have not only seen it, I've seen it in 35 millimeter and I own it on DVD. I did an episode of Outside the Cinema about it. I love Anguish. Good shit. Zelda Rubinstein is bananas. Michael Lerner is bizarre as all hell. And then when it happens, you're like, hold on, what? Wait, what's going on right now? Wow. That's what Anguish does. It's so good.
Heard of a Spanish language film about a murderous optometrist. The Vanishing skews more thriller than horror, but it's easily the most terrifying viewing experience on this list. Begotten is unholy in all the best ways. An absolute fucking nightmare. Jeffrey Dahmer's favorite horror movie was Exorcist 3. My favorite horror movie is Exorcist 3. I'm not really sure what that says about me.
That's another one where I've only ever seen the first Exorcist. I heard the Exorcist 2 was so bad, so, one would suspect that Exorcist 3 would also be bad. But I've heard a lot of good stuff with it. Oh, I know this movie. It's a good one.
The stranglehold that people under the stairs had on me as a kid cannot be expressed into words. I would argue that Fire Walk with Me is one of David Lynch's most nightmarish visions. Schramm is for the true freaks out there, a German exploitation film about the final days of a serial killer. New Nightmare goes so hard, easy.
It's really, really great. New Nightmare is so awesome. Just that kind of like that meta horror thing that would just become that precursor to Scream and whatnot. Really kind of the dry run for Scream. But what a cool and neat and interesting idea. Gosh, it was so cool.
Easily the scariest Nightmare on Elm Street movie. In a lot of ways, the fear walked so Oddity could run. No, like, seriously. Head of the Family may look like a goofy B movie.
Oh my lord, we reviewed Head of the Family on HMP back when Bruce made us. So, check it out.
But it is honestly traumatizing. Cure starts an epic run of Japanese horror movies on this list. The late 90s and early 2000s were literally shaped by J-horror. Because I follow this up with The Japanese Ring in 98, equipped to...
Listen, The Japanese Ring is fine. I like the American version better myself. I love the Blair Witch Project. I drove to see that when I was like 16. Maybe, no, I had to be older than that. So it's 99, so I'm like probably 17. So I'm like 17... driving up to a theater that was like a half an hour away at night, first time really doing that. My brother's in the car with me. He's like 15 and we go to see Blair Witch Project. It was great. It was a really great time. It was, the ending, I hate to tell you, is scary because I look at anybody and I say, watch that movie and then go spend the night in the woods. You won't do it.
Departure to shout out the Blair Witch Project, the most you had to be there horror movies of all time.
It really, then when you were in that theater, there was just something palpable about it. And the same thing happened with Paranormal Activity, where it was just like being in that theater and feeling what was going on. There's certain films where that just kind of happens. And like I happen to have an audience for like Freddy versus Jason that was unbelievable. It was a second run theater and it was packed on 50-cent Tuesday nights. So sometimes you can just have that audience experience as well.
Audition in 2000. This is your reminder, if you haven't seen Session 9, you haven't seen the scariest movies of the 2000s. Ju-on proved how terrifyingly simplistic an open-mouth death rattle can be.
So good. Ju-on is great. The Grudge, which should be, as good, if not better, because it's, an Americanized big budget version of the original by the same original director of Ju-on, and it's not. It's not as good.
With the rise of Korean horror as of late, let us not forget the greatness that is A Tale of Two Sisters. 2004's Creep is the only horror movie named Creep that I enjoy. It can't be understated the theater-going experience that was The Descent.
I still haven't made it all the way through The Descent, everybody. I don't know what it is.
Them is the scariest home invasion movie you'll ever watch. The Orphanage is way scarier than it looks.
Oh, man, The Orphanage was so great. Remember watching that one in the theater? Sparsely populated as
on paper. It truly had no business going as hard as it did. We couldn't make it this far into the 2000s without some found footage, and Lake Mungo is about as good as it gets.
I feel like I know the name. I can't remember if I saw that or not. I'm gonna say no.
The Fourth Kind has the most terrifying alien abduction scene ever put to screen, full stop. Yes, I have Insidious on my list. Cheap jump scares are people too.
I hate that movie. I hated it. I thought it was boring. God, that was my biggest problem, is I thought it was boring. And Insidious was just boring.
Paranormal Activity 3 is the best Paranormal Activity. Imagine
Agreed.
if they never made Sinister 2. We would just think, that one Sinister movie was fucking great. I mean,
Up until that last second, the last second where it goes very 2000s, and you would get like a Limp Bizkit song or whatever the fuck it is. That's outside of that, just before that moment, it's like it's a perfect movie. And then they just go, one more scare. I'm like, you sons of bitches.
it still is, but that second one is fucking ass. Curse of Chucky is the scariest Child's Play movie.
I liked Curse of Chucky. I think Curse of Chucky is underrated. It's not an amazing film. It's probably the least of the Child's Play films. But it's worth a watch because it's interesting and it's different.
It makes no real sense that a 6th movie in an installment would go this hard, but it just does. For my money, The Taking of Deborah Logan is the scariest found footage movie ever made. M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit is his comeback film. Unfortunately,
The Visit is great. I like The Visit. I thought it was really, really fun.
He didn't keep this energy going.
Correct.
Go watch The Wailing tonight. If you've already seen it, go watch it again. Damien Rugna's Terrified is the most appropriately titled movie on this list. Hereditary is the scariest movie of the 2000s. And
it was one of those that absolutely lived up to it. Other people at the theater saw it first and were like, oh my God. Like people that, I wouldn't suspect. And they were just like, bro, like, all right, I got to see this, man. This it's freaking the normies out. I got to check this out.
You can talk to a wall Blair Witch style if you don't agree. Impedagore is an Indonesian folk horror movie that is absolutely must watch. The Empty Man is the scariest COVID year movie that nobody ever saw. As is The Djinn. This is my go-to recommendation for modern horror movies that truly bring the scares. Yes, Skinamarink also made the list. No.
Oh man, Skinamarink made me made me want to call a hotline. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care that you don't like it. How the mighty have fallen when it comes to the Hell House franchise, but let us not forget that Hell House Origins absolutely rips. Oddity is easily the most scared I've been in theaters in the last decade. I think Bring Her Back was probably the scariest movie from last year.
Agreed. That movie was so good, so frightening, so off-putting. There's moments where you're just squirming in your chair. It's so good.
A feel-bad movie if there ever was one. And it's too early to tell, but Undertone is the scariest movie I've seen so far.
I'm waiting for Undertone to come out on 4K because I've heard so many great things about the audio, which means I think I'm just going to go ahead and blind buy that bad boy because I needs me a demo disc.
Far in 2026.
Good stuff. What have you seen so far, everybody? I do recall seeing a trailer for this. Look for halfway here. I'm not sure. Any dicks in your fridge? That doesn't mean anything. Good old Ted Raimi. Lake Mungo, Jerry. It might be. It might be. Lake Mungo is top 5 found footage. All right, that's a bold statement. I like that. I like that. Man, that knife, dude. Holy cow. If you're not just man. Good grief. And that's when I was just like, all right, I'll watch that first movie that they did. And after I watched that Talk to Me, then now I'm just like, all right, whatever these boys do, I'm going to be on board with checking out what that is, because these guys make some stuff that makes you squirm in your seat, and I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. Something that's wild. Wow.
There is no bigger dopamine hit than watching a movie and then going to log it on Letterboxd and seeing that it has less than 15,000 reviews. Sorry, I'm not like other girls. I'm a cinephile. I watch obscure horror movies on Tubi. Like,
hey. And if you're into watching obscure horror movies, let me tell you something, kids. Tubi's the place for you to go. I'm going to do a video on Tubi. About how, spoiler alert, Tubi is the best streaming service out there. It's better than Disney Plus. It's better than Hulu. It's better than HBO. It's better than all that crap. It's better than all of it. Better than Paramount Plus. It's Tubi. Mm-hmm. And you know what that cost you? $0. You watch a couple of ads. Tubi, like its namesake, is like television. You watch it. There are a couple of commercials, less commercials than you'd find in television, to be quite frank. And that's it. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it.
You wish you were me.
Yeah. Watching them shitty Tubi movies. Tubi.
4 teenage boys, the worst kind of teenage boy.
And that's true.
3 rows ahead of me in the movie theater.
Uh-oh.
Won't shut the fuck up. At one point, their feet are in the air. Feet famously go on the ground, and they're making farting noises. Shut the hell up.
Did you bring this energy to them, madam? I hope you did. I don't think you did, though.
I that one teacher. Now I understand. Shut the hell up. Shut up. And I should have gone, hey, oldie in the back, old.
No. You are to make an example of them. You are to get in their face, and you are to tell them that they should stop acting rude and get in there, have something prepared. Don't wing it. Don't wing it. Have something prepared, but be ready and go do something about it, or go tell somebody something. But you sitting there and just going like, I guess we're going to sit through this is only going to encourage people to do it more.
Fucking lady in the back. Shut the fuck up. I wish I had like a bucket of fucking potato salad so I could have thrown it at those motherfuckers. And everyone.
Speaking of which, I will tell you from experience, you don't want to throw something at somebody at a movie theater. Here's why. My dad, my brother, and I went to go see the new Conan the Barbarian movie. You know, the one with Jason Momoa that was in 3D and it was completely fucking awful? Well, it was the 3 of us and one other dude in the movie theater. We were kind of sitting in the middle of the theater and everything, and down a couple of, we'll call it 5-6 rows, maybe a little further than that. Over to the left, there sits this guy who is sitting on his phone. He's sitting on his phone all throughout the trailers. And it's like, it's fine. Things fine. No big whoop. Everything is A-okay. He's just on his phone. He's going to get off his phone right when the movie starts. Movie starts. He's not off his phone. Okay, maybe he'll just be on his phone throughout the opening credits. Maybe, he don't want to read the credits. Who gives a shit? Arthur Conan Doyle, whatever, right? We get past the credits and he is still on his phone. So I look to my brother who's at my right and I go, give me a milk dud. He hands me a milk dud. Now, I want everybody to know that these glasses are prescription, okay? And I am left-handed. Which is to say I've got a couple of handicaps going for me. Never the most athletic kid. When I went to baseball, when I tried for baseball in elementary school, first practice, they'd knock one out to me, hits me right in the eye. Not the most athletic kid in the world. You know what I'm saying? Just wasn't me. But I forgot where I was going. I this is why I don't normally drink on these these shows. I get lost in the sauce, man.
I kept going, shh, shh, and they kept going,
So you go punch these kids is basically what I'm getting to is go punch the children. Go punch them. You have to say something. You have to do something. If they have no repercussions, they will never, ever learn.
You're not an A-list Stubbs member. I fucking know it. You wouldn't even have the you wouldn't have the balls if you were. Nicole Kidman would come through the fucking exit. New rule, new fucking rule. I'm the new mayor, and I've decided you need to be able to rent a car if you're gonna go to the movies past 3 a.m. If you can't rent a car, I'm so sorry. Hey, and so sorry to my 24 and under, but you can't go either. Enough!
I agree. Keep them out. Keep them out. Sharks in the Hood is probably the worst movie on Tubi, and I've watched it because I have an issue. I've thrown hands in a movie theater. Does that count? Absolutely, it counts. Absolutely, it counts. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I got so many just, bad movie stories from times I've been in the movies to the times where I've had to kick people out of the movies and the things that have happened within the movies. I want to make almost a whole series on that of just like stories from the front line.
Netflix spent the last decade blowing up the traditional TV business, killing.
Yeah, killing. That's the word. Killing the television business, killing the movie business, and it all started from DVDs. Isn't that a shame?
Syndication, breaking the content ownership model, and helping push production out of Los Angeles and overseas. And now, after all of that, they're about to buy one of Hollywood's most historic studio lots for pennies on the dollar.
And it won't do shit. It won't do anything. We keep talking about it week after week, month after month. It won't do anything. You can bring all of this stuff to Hollywood and everything, but the problem is that it still costs an arm and a leg to do stuff, and all the tax incentives that you might get still won't offset it enough for you to not go someplace else to do it. You guys are in a losing battle. As I have always said, Hollywood will die, and the killer will be in the house with them the whole time.
It's genius. It's so sad, and it's incredibly ironic. You've got to hear this. I'm Jason Fisher, the founder of Stage Runner and former head of production at Disney, Paramount, and AMC. So Radford Studios in Studio City, it's one of the great TV lots in Hollywood history. It's the home of Seinfeld, Mary Tyler Moore, Gilligan's Island, Will and Grace, Big Brother. It's the kind of place that literally helped define American television. The people there are amazing. Everyone loved working there. And in 2021, just 5 years ago, at the absolute peak of the streaming wars, Hackman Capital bought Radford for almost $2 billion. Everyone wanted stages then, everyone was chasing content, and everyone thought the boom was going to last forever. Fast forward to today, Hackman defaulted on their loan, Goldman took over, and Netflix is now negotiating to buy that same lot for just $350 million. Why? Because production in LA has collapsed.
And it will continue to collapse. This will not change anything. A couple of in-house things will be done. They'll do some local stuff. They'll have some things there. They'll be busy enough, but will it replace anything? Will it do anything long term? No. Again, they're treating a problem at the top. They're ignoring the problem at the root.
Strikes, fires, budget cuts, and most importantly, production leaving the state and the country. And let's be honest, Netflix led that charge. This is not a discount. This is a collapse. And the irony is impossible to ignore. Because Netflix didn't just participate in the disruption of Hollywood. They led it. They changed how shows are made, how they're sold, how talent gets paid.
All for the worst, mind you.
Paid, how studios value libraries, and where productions actually shoot.
Exactly. All of those things, what he mentioned with the libraries there and everything. The reason why you have to subscribe to 58 different services now is because of Netflix. They started this whole damn thing. It's them. They're kind of the catalyst. There might have been somebody before them, but at the end of the day, they are the catalyst that really struck all of this into full-fledged motion.
And for years, Netflix mostly rented offices and stages all over the world while chasing incentives, cheaper labor, and global scale.
Which is what you need to do in business in order to stay profitable, which is something that Hollywood should be doing and in the long term anyways, is because it is already far too expensive for what you guys put out and then what you get in return. Again, this is another bell that I'm ringing here all the time. But if you shoot a movie for $200 million and it only makes $50 million, you can see where the math becomes a problem for your business. You can only do that so many times before you're, insolvent.
But now, all of a sudden, the strategy is changing. They're building a $1 billion studio in New Jersey. They now own in New Mexico, and they're finally now buying in LA. And my bet, the UK is going to be next, because this is what vertical integration looks like now. own the platform, own the audience, own the content, and now own the stages.
I am so happy to say I'm not a Netflix subscriber. It was one of those things also most recently where it was like, oh, the new Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein movie is out on Netflix. And it's like, guess I'm not watching that. Yep. Not enough for me to subscribe to Netflix at a top tier level in order to see it in high definition with full sound and everything. Not worth $25 or whatever the fuck it is you're charging. No way, sir.
Netflix waited while the market overheated, cracked, and eventually crashed. And now they're coming back to buy the very infrastructure that their revolution helped destroy.
That sounds about right.
It's brilliant business, but for Los Angeles, it's also pretty damn painful.
And it won't solve a thing. That's the best part of all of it. Some jerk in an Affliction t-shirt. He sat down with his wife yelling at him until they left. Yeah, man. Those people are the best. There was a guy talking loudly on his phone during Van Helsing. I nearly went down and kicked his ass. Oh, I didn't finish my story. That's what I was doing. Thank you. You reminded me. This jerk put his feet on the back of my son's chair, asked what I was going to do about it. He was the definition of fuck around and find out. That's for sure. Oh, those are always good. I'm older, but still a hillbilly, not afraid of. Yeah, exactly. So what I was going to say is I told my brother, I said, hand me a milk dud. He handed me a milk dud. And being left-handed, I threw it down at him. That's what happened. I went to the story about how it's all uncoordinated. We're all coming back to the story. I throw this milk dud, and it hits this guy. Perfect. I wasn't aiming to hit him. I was kind of aiming just to kind of more like hit the back of the seat or something to just kind of like give him a little, like a little attention. Nope. Right there. Unbelievable. So this guy gets up and then walks up the stairs to our aisle. I've yet to describe this gentleman to you. As he's going up the aisle, I see he's probably about, we'll call him 5'9", 5'10". I can tell he's got a muscular build as he is wearing a black wife beater t-shirt and has these huge shoulders. Dreadlock hair. This black dude looks like he will kill me in 2 seconds. I thought I was going to hit the back of his chair. I hit the back of his head. So this man comes up and he goes, "What the fuck was that?" And I go, "Hey man," and I'm trying to try not to look like a pussy, but also try not to start shit, you know. So I'm just like, "Hey man, turn off your cell phone. The movie started." And he just goes, "You could have fucking asked." And I was just like, just go, just turn. And to his credit, phone never came out again. The movie was absolutely awful. And we were quiet. We were quiet the entire time for the rest of the movie and stuff. He left, and then we left. We go to the bathroom, and me and my dad are kind of standing there at the urinals. No one else in there. And I just go, "So who was ready to throw down if anything was happening?" And my brother, who was a bit of a good old boy, said, "Oh, I was ready," and pulls out this knife that he has in his pocket. He was just like, if things went down, I was ready to go. I was just like, "Yep, this is why you bring the redneck brother around, just in case shit goes down."
Imagine going to Harry Potter World and you go and you look around and it's just characters from Grindelwald and Fantastic Beasts. And it's not even a Harry Potter location. It's just a vaguely Harry Potter-ish
that would blow
location. And the music that's playing over the loudspeakers isn't actually music from the movies. It's just new John Williams music that they paid him to make specifically for the theme park. So essentially nothing is familiar, except maybe they put the Hogwarts Express sitting in the middle of it somewhere. What I've just described is what Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Disney World has been for the last 7 years.
I've never been to Galaxy's Edge, as much of a Star Wars guy as I am and everything. I mean, I haven't been to Disney since I was a wee little lad, a wee child. And even then, I don't really remember much of anything. I remember the Dumbo ride, and I couldn't keep my finger on the button to make him go up long enough, so my mom had to hold it because my finger got tired real quick. I do remember that. I remember being scared in Captain EO. I remember that much. And I remember some fireworks at some point in the Epcot Globe. That's about it. So I haven't been in forever and a day. So I couldn't tell you what any of this stuff was like. But I always felt it would kind of stink.
Until yesterday. For the first time, the Star Wars theme park is going to feature music from Star Wars and characters from the part of Star Wars that everybody recognizes. For 13 years, they have owned the rights to Darth Vader. He debuted yesterday.
Are you kidding me? This is like Darth Vader's never been throughout this thing before? That seems odd.
And up until now, the Stormtroopers were the sequel version, First Order Stormtroopers. I'm not just trying to hate on the sequel trilogy, but I think it's just a pretty sensible move by Disney to incorporate the best and most iconic and recognizable parts of Star Wars into their literal Star Wars theme park. Now,
no, you have to go and like all of the new stuff because the new stuff is where we're going. It's the future of Star Wars if you really think about it. The future is female.
Now they're actually playing music from the movies, and I'm telling you, it is going to add to the immersion so much. Even though it's just the theme songs and it seems kind of repetitive, when you're walking through Jurassic Park at Universal, you feel like, oh man, like
it's so good. It's so good. He's not wrong. When you're just walking around and that theme is going on, it's just like, and the way that they've decorated the entire place with the specific plants and stuff like that. It's so much fun.
That's the building from the movie. Oh, I'm hearing the music. It's immersive. It's fun. And now people are going to go into that theme park and hear music from the asteroid chase, and they're going to see Han Solo, who they recognize, with his iconic ship, the Millennium Falcon, which has been sitting there without him for 7 years. The fact that Darth Vader is just now showing up to this theme park is absolutely mind-blowing to me. It's basically a microcosm of the absurd mismanagement of the Star Wars IP by Lucasfilm, and specifically, yes, I'm sorry, Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, we knew it would happen at some point. Down bubble. I did it the wrong pace. Oh, that is a bitch for your arms. All right. What's next?
Comet and Miss Piggy are two of the top Hollywood stars. They've been together for fucking years. And guess what? They've never cheated. And even with all the temptation of Hollywood arse and Miss Piggy being a bitch, they're still together.
Here's the thing. She's not wrong. Miss Piggy is kind of a bitch. She's kind of terrible.
And here's the kicker. I think I've cracked the code. It's because Comet is never hungry. Listen, this frog is basically having bacon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And Miss Piggy, well, she always ends up with a frog in her throat. Listen, I'm surprised with the amount Kermit loves bacon he hasn't given Grover sausage a whirl. So the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is don't ever miss a fucking meal.
Listen, if I knew that this was going to be a British dirty joke, I wouldn't have put it into TikTok Trash Tuesday. I believe we're a little bit better than that, but apparently not. Apparently not.
I feel like all straight men between the ages of 20 and 30 love Spider-Man, which
Yes. Yes.
is interesting to me because of all the superheroes, y'all picked a skinny boy in a leotard that goes, No judgment, just some food for thought.
Okay. This doesn't have to do with movies specifically, but hey, there's 2 Spider-Man movies coming out with the Brave New World and Into Spider-Verse 3. So I figure we might as well talk about it. Let's talk about why Spider-Man is great and why everybody likes Spider-Man, especially guys. Peter Parker is, for the most part, a normal person. He's a regular guy. Nothing too special about him. He is smart, which is about the most special thing about him, is that he is a smart guy. But being smart is not seen as a bad thing. It's actually seen as a good thing. And Peter Parker reluctantly gets this superpower and realizes that, like his Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility. And he learns that as a man, he needs to step up and do the thing that is right. He needs to protect those that can protect themselves. He needs to protect his friends and family. And he does so under the guise of a superhero, so as to not endanger those friends and family that he has. Someone who is doing the right thing for selfless reasons. Spider-Man gets the credit. Peter Parker doesn't get the credit. If anything, Peter Parker gets the shaft because he's got to go and be a regular kid, be a guy that works at a newspaper, be a for all intents and purposes, a son, do his homework, go to school, do all these things, and be a superhero at the exact same time. It's what, again, kind of the idyllic thing of a male is to be able to take on all of those things, all of those problems, all of the things that come at you at once, the things that seem impossible, saving a bus and saving your girlfriend. You have to pick one. One is going to die. And the superhero in you goes, no, I can do both. Doing that impossible thing. When you're given, an option that you can only save one and you have to save two because that's who you are, that's why we like Spider-Man. And Spider-Man could be anybody underneath that mask. It is just Peter Parker, though. Anybody, you can do the Miles Morales, you can do all the other shit you want to, but at the end of the day, really think about it, it's just Peter Parker. It's just one kid who happened to get bit by a spider, gets this great power, and chooses to use that power for the good of the world, even to his own detriment. That's why we like Spider-Man. Spider-Man theme in 60s is Canadian. It's Canadian? Where they go, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, ain't gonna do anything a spider can. Spin a web any size, catch a thief just like flies. Hang on, here comes a Spider-Man. It's my Canadian Spider-Man. I never thought of Spider-Man, it's a thwip, as a gang sign. Thwip, y'all. Peter was everyman, and that's the thing. It was the everyman, and it was the everyman that you would strive to be. And especially, listen, in the 60s, having this nerdy kid be the kid that's the hero is awesome as hell. They sat there and they said, you know what? The nerd, that's the good one. It's a good thing to be smart. DC are heroes that we look up to. Marvel are heroes that we can relate to. Exactly. A Hydro Man is a real hoser. Of course he is. With that name.
All of these AI slot fantasy videos you're seeing are referencing a very specific era of fantasy. This is Day 11 of finding niche artists that define our childhood. If you're new
I told you she'd be back.
here, my name is Liz, and I do all kinds of deep dives. My latest series is on artists that created the visual language that we grew up on. If there's one era where this medieval dreamlike fantasy aesthetic truly peaked, it was the 80s. Movies like The Neverending Story, Labyrinth, and The Dark Crystal used puppets, animatronics, and fully hand-built worlds, long before CGI. And they were all pulling directly from fantasy illustrators. Artists like Frank Frazetta helped define that dramatic high-contrast look, with powerful figures, deep shadows, almost mythological in its scale.
That's what Zack Snyder thinks his stuff looks like, by the by.
Then you have Alan Lee and John Howe, who leaned into more grounded medieval realism with detailed armor, ancient architecture, worlds that felt lived in. And both of them would later go on to work on The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring.
Are you shocked? Are you shocked at all?
Bring that same visual language into modern fantasy.
Which is why it looks so good. They spent so much time putting that thing together with all the concept art and really getting things exactly right, and then modeling all of those things. We really, really broke the mold with those first 3 Lord of the Rings movies. It's unbelievable. Never to be done again, something to that scale and of that matter. Never.
Another artist worth mentioning is Larry Elmore, who brought that classic colorful fantasy style, especially through his work with Dungeons & Dragons, which also heavily influenced how fantasy worlds were visualized in the 80s. And then there's illustrator Brian Froud, whose creature designs were directly used in The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. Fairies is one of my favorite books to read through. Working alongside him was Jim Henson, who took those illustrated creatures and made them real using puppetry, animatronics, and fully physical sets. With The Dark Crystal, he created an entire fantasy.
I like the dark. I never liked the Dark Crystal because all of these puppets are so off-putting. I don't like them. I think they look too weird. I don't. It ain't for me. I mean, I'll take Labyrinth. Dark Crystal's a no-go.
Fantasy world performed almost entirely through puppets, something that had rarely been done at that scale before. With Labyrinth, he blended that same practical approach with live actors, creating something that felt both theatrical and surreal. Henson had already mastered puppetry through projects.
Listen, huge Fraggle Rock fanboy. Huge. Dance cares away. Worries for another day. Let the music play. Down Fraggle Rock.
Projects like The Muppet Show, but in the 80s, he really pushed it onto something much darker and more detailed and more cinematic. So when I look at these AI fantasy videos, I see decades of real artists being
looks like The Visitor
remixed into one endless aesthetic. And I think it's worth knowing where it actually came from.
I know where it came from. Down in Fraggle Rock.
A favorite horror movie that isn't a horror movie.
Oh, all right, chat. Let's hear it. What is your favorite horror movie that's not a horror movie? I know a lot of guys said this was. I want to attribute it to Sean, but it might not be Sean. But it's somebody. It's not Sean. It's Sean adjacent. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, hey, what's your favorite scary movie? And he goes, Parenthood. Oh, see. Yeah, that's something. Yeah. What do you mean you're too confused? Yeah, it's just what is a movie that is absolutely frightening to you, but is not necessarily a horror film. Let's see what this gentleman's got.
What's yours? I'll go first. Mine is Spencer. That's right, the Princess Diana movie starring Kristen Stewart.
What?
She's basically whisked away to a house against her own will, and it's this kind of like existential crisis of completely not only being trapped by the paparazzi, but trapped by her found family, if you will, trapped by a lot of things. And it's absolutely terrifying, especially when she tries to run away into the fields. This is a fantastic movie with a great performance. Not technically a horror movie, but damn is it scary. It's got this nightmare, dream-like quality to it, fairy tale-esque, like the text says at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, everything about this just screams horror movie without being a horror movie. It's very existentially scary. Kristen Stewart does an incredible job. That's my answer. What's yours?
All right. I'm going to look it up here. Give me a second. I want to get a large version. I want to get a couple of screenshots here to show you. All right. I can't do this without a day's prep time. As a twice divorced dad, Kramer versus Kramer. Yeah, there you go. Which always reminds me, my favorite joke was when Stallone was on SNL. The sketch is there's Norm Macdonald and someone else. I forget who played his wife in the sketch. But Norm is in this giant car crash, and Stallone happens to be there at the car crash. He's playing Stallone in the sketch, and he goes to save this guy, and it's Norm Macdonald, and he just goes and he's like, "Oh my God, it's Sylvester Stallone," and he can't let Sylvester Stallone save him. He has to kind of end up critiquing his movies and stuff like that. And but he hates all of Stallone's movies. So he's just rapping on everything from like stop or my mom will shoot. Yeah, sucked. Because he's like bleeding to death or whatever. And he goes, hey, you know that I like that movie Over the Top. Yeah, Over the Top. That's a good film. That movie is about child custody, right? Yeah. You know that movie Kramer versus Kramer. That's about child custody too. That is missing something though. What was it? Oh yeah, arm wrestling.
2001: A Space Odyssey. What the hell is this movie about?
It's really great. It's really great. I was one of those people who was like, what's this movie all about? And it took me many years. It took me many screenings. But I would say that like for sure by the first one, but for sure by the second time that I saw it in IMAX, which would probably have been like maybe my 12th, 15th viewing at that point, I suppose. I really got it. Like there was just something about it. Like the difference is being in the theater, at least for me, was part of it, is not being able to go anywhere, just to have that bigger than life thing that's in front of you, the scale, the scope of it, really being able to kind of see the intricacy of like when we're doing like the docking and everything and how slow all of it is and how precise and clean and crisp and clear everything looks. And it's astounding. It's like it's a special effects extravaganza, and it's got a very kind of cool, 60s vibe, acid trip, flies through space and stuff like that. And maybe he'll get into some of what kind of actually goes on in 2001. But for me, it was a movie that I needed to see many times over in order to really kind of get it.
And this is not a plot summary of the movie, believe me. If you wanted to know what the movie was about, you could just read the book version that Arthur C. Clarke did, and it's just about aliens. It's ancient aliens. It's the ancient aliens.
R.I.P. to the ancient aliens guy. Something happened to him? Does anybody remember what that was? I saw a headline about it. I couldn't remember. Feel like it was tragic.
Facilitating humankind. But the movie itself is much deeper than that. There are these monoliths throughout the whole movie, and each one is a marking point on each stage of man's evolution.
Correct. So the monolith is kind of the discovery of technology, if you will. When we're at the dawn of man and everything, there's like the old saying of God doesn't create in straight lines. So if you see those straight lines and things, you realize that that is something that is made by man. So when we are in this proto-man stage here at the dawn of man, and you got to realize that these aren't monkeys, these aren't humans, these are that kind of half in between, half human, half monkey. And that's kind of, why they do what they do. They're like, they are that kind of like little bridge character there, if you will. So when they see this thing pop up out of nowhere that is just emanating this kind of sound and everything that they can't quite feel, and it's like there's almost this energy coming off of it, and they're looking at it and they're going up to touch it and everything, because this is so strange to them. They've never lived in a world where there is something that is straight, that is smooth, that is at these 90-degree angles, that is just straight up and down like this, that is just this monochromatic big black block here and everything that feels like it's, emanating this kind of, aura, for lack of a better word. And so that is that point. And is at that point then when they are touching the monolith that it kind of like, it clicks that inner thing in them. I forget exactly what it's called. I've had too many beers to think about it precisely at this point, but that is what kind of hits that thing in them that goes, oh, wait a second, there's something beyond. And that is when he's kind of throwing around the bones there. And it's like, wait a minute, smash, smash, smash. And he realizes that this bone can become a weapon. He realizes that there is a world outside. There's just, and again, there's something then that clicks in him, and he's able then to take that weapon and then beat other members of society with it. He becomes then, he has a fight with another clan of pre-humans and everything. they had that fight. And so you realize, oh, this is the destruction. This is that thing that would, put them on further into the future. The thing that would catapult man, as it were, into the future is this creation of the weapon, which would then, create into fire and all the other things that would evolve all the way in. That's when you get the smashing of the bones and then the cutting from the bone flying through the air to the spaceship, the longest jump cut in cinema history, going from a bone of prehistoric man to 2001 all the way up into this, mighty fine future here and everything. Then when they see the monolith again on the moon, that is yet another thing. They discovered this thing on the moon. Now, as far as they're concerned, they have not seen the thing that pre-man saw. They didn't see that first monolith back there. They don't know of that thing's existence. So this, much like first man, when they are on the moon, they see that monolith there. And the monolith, supposedly appears to them and to man when it is important within their time with which to see that monolith. And so that's where that comes up at the second half. And I'm about to do, so I'm going to let it go.
The Dawn of Man sequence, when they discover tools, and that is when man becomes the dominant force on the planet.
They told you.
They control the entire planet, which then leads to the greatest cut in cinematic history.
And again, I want everybody to know, I don't watch these ahead of time. I don't watch them ahead of time.
Then after domination of the planet, it's moving past the planet. That's why the next marker is buried on the moon. And then the third and final step of the evolution has two meanings. One, they get all the way to Jupiter. So now we've dominated the entire solar system. Mm-hmm. But now with the HAL 9000, the AI that man created, it's now man's struggle against tools itself to overcome the thing which did facilitate its own evolutionary.
So, yeah, exactly. The reason that we could get through this entire thing, and we're going to have to be the ones that takes it out.
Steps, which then takes us to the next phase of man's evolution, which is beyond our comprehension, which is why Kubrick so brilliantly gives a cinematic explanation.
Which, by the way, everybody, this is something that we all got to remember, is that all of these, the light show that you're seeing here, all of the kind of the time tunnel, whatever you end up liking to call it, all done in camera. These are all camera effects. Shot with film, developed in such a way, shot in such a way that this is what they showed. All camera stuff. So great.
We cannot conceive of what the next phase is because we're incapable.
It's beyond our understanding. And this is a scene that I think a lot of people can misunderstand or misinterpret. And I think there's several ways of which that you could interpret, the scene where he's an old man and stuff, and like kind of his aging from shot to shot to shot as things go on. And you could have that mean so many different things, like time passing by. It can mean that time absolutely passes by in that amount of time, and he's here in this room for that amount of time. Or you can interpret every single shot and each aging as per each one goes is to how he is feeling this all in real time and observing it in real time. You don't know. And that's what's kind of cool about it, is it's all open for these weird interpretations and stuff like that. And him kind of staring back into the abyss, as it were. And that's what's kind of cool and interesting, certainly about the last half, is that it is nicely open for interpretation. It is that kind of movie where you can sit down and everybody have a piece of pie and talk about, the movie that you just watched.
Person inside of a painting looking at us walking around the museum trying to understand how to do that. And then when Dave reaches that next step in the evolution,
the monolith shows up. It's that time for him to see that. And then we evolve beyond the current state of human into this star child. What does that mean? We don't know. And that's the whole point, is that we don't know.
He's reborn again into the star child, no longer constrained by our universe. It's a brilliant movie. Or if you want to be boring, it's a bunch of aliens left us stuff and said, hey, good luck. But come on.
It's a fantastic movie. You may need to see it a couple of times to really get it. But once you do, gosh, it's really, really great. That shot was so good. Kubrick Kubrick, but would it be better if the bone and the ship were at the same angle? I agree with this. And can you imagine it, but maybe a slight fade from one to the other? I like the cut, but I do agree that is one thing that always kind of bothered me, is that it wasn't in that exact same shink. Like, you ain't the only one that was bothered by that, bud. Me too.
So we've got two TVs here. One TV is a 75-inch TV and it's $500. The other 75-inch TV is $7,000.
Do you think that you could tell the difference between a $500 television and a $7,000 television? I definitely can. I can tell the difference between a couple $100 and about $1,000. There's a big one, and especially if you're doing a left and right comparison between those two, that $7,000 one is going to blow it out of the water, because let me tell you, when you get in that $500 and sub $500 category, most of those TVs look like absolute trash. And I know what you're thinking. I got one of those cheap ones in my house and it looked really good. Again, if you've been eating bologna sandwiches your entire life, you don't know how good steak is.
And we're going to see if people can tell the difference between them. On paper, they seem like they'd be exactly the same. They're both 4K, they're both smart TVs.
Like that matters.
And they both have these two more advanced technologies.
Okay, so mini LEDs, quantum dots. So your mini LEDs, that means your LEDs are tighter, smaller, and everything. So that means you're going to get brighter colors and everything, and more local dimming zones, things of that nature. And then quantum dots, that means you're going to get more colors than you would normally get in your regular LED. The Q stands for quantum dots. So that just means you're getting much more of a color spectrum there and everything. So yeah, standardized stuff, but there's a little bit more to it than that.
Which help with contrast and color. The Vizio Mini.
Look, I mean, you can even kind of tell it a little bit in this, and it's because it's tougher to tell on a cell phone video. But man, you see this in person, and you would be like,
LED Quantum is just such an awesome TV. It gets brighter than TVs from last year that were like $1,200 or $1,500. It's like,
yeah. Now listen, don't get me wrong. Cheaper TVs are getting better, but man,
it's one of the best values I've seen in like 5 or 10 years. I think like 9 out of 10 of my friends, if they're like, what TV should I buy? I'd be like, just get that one. And then
right now, I would tell people the TCL QM6K Pro, probably your best TV value for money out there. MVD, what TV you end up getting? I know we just cooked you up with one. What was that TV? Which one did you get again?
If you have that one friend who's like they love video games, or they're super duper into sports or movies, the TCL is for those people. The more expensive TV is kind of like if you took the Vizio and just turned it up to 11. It has better.
Don't you want 11? Oh, that's the new X11, the TCL X11.
Audio, it's got a better build, it does faster refresh rates for video games, it's much brighter. The really big takeaway is
that's going to be the big thing, is like when you sit down in that room, that X11 is going to be so damn bright.
The TCL is extremely future-proofed. Like, it gets brighter and produces more color than the content that we have right now can even take advantage of. But if you're just watching like standard cable and it's in like standard dynamic range,
who's doing that? Why are you doing that?
And it just uses regular colors, it could look exactly the same between the TVs. There's a bunch of really good TVs in between these price ranges. Like, you can kind of pick and choose which specs you care about. There's always more expensive TVs. I've seen one, that's specialty made in Germany that's $40,000. So it really just depends on how much you like TV.
The TV that I'm looking for right now, it's about 98 inches. I think that's about as big as I can get in my room. So you got the there you go, the 85Q. Yeah, there you go. That's the 6K. The beautiful. So you got a good one. I knew we set you right.
You can remake one movie from 99 just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Like, no one might ever even see it.
It's
I
like
just want to be part of the experience.
Personal movie. You get to do it. I think I know what you're going to say. So before.
If you could remake Remake any movie from 1999, what would it be? I'm trying to think about what came out in 1999. All right, movies from 1999. What would I remake? Quick look. Universal Soldier. I don't know. He got something. Let's see what Dave Franco comes up with.
Before you say it, I'm going to guess.
Okay, can we say it at the same time?
Yeah.
This is the first thing that comes to mind. 1, 2, 3.
Being John Malkovich. Oh my God.
To get inside of Malkovich's head. Let's get there, man.
What the fuck? What are we talking about? Okie doke.
We're at Paradise. We got the $10. Wow. All you can carry. Okay, there you go. And help him set it down.
$10. However many VHS you can carry out for $10. This guy looks like he's going for the record.
Set it down. There you go. Make sure that help him right there.
I got you.
All right.
Okay.
Hey man, if you can get it, go on and get it.
I think you're
Jesse Eisenberg debunks Hollywood's diversity myth.
Might be mischaracterizing Hollywood. It's it's much more homogenous politically than. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's
Well, yeah, of course it is. Why is Dr. Mike? I'm sorry, Dr. Mike. Hollywood is an echo chamber unto itself. What are you talking about?
People who get into the arts, and have maybe like a real feeling of not only rebelliousness, but
not enough actual courage to actually do anything. So you make pretend.
So driven by great empathy because you want to,
or making money and becoming famous.
Think about characters and stories and embody those emotions.
Play around and not concentrate on who you are as an actual person, but live the lives of other people as opposed to improving upon oneself.
And you feel comfortable expressing yourself.
That means you want other people to look at you and pay attention to you and validate your feelings.
It's all things that I would associate more with like liberal politics.
Pussies.
And, most Hollywood stories are underdog stories.
Right, because you guys are always the victims.
Value
you're always the rich, entitled, nepotistic victims.
The Mr. Smith Goes to Washington kind of thing. And so so that to me is all associated.
Which is hilarious because so many of the things that Capra, preached within his movies and stuff right now, you guys don't actually believe in.
Associated with what I would consider to be, liberal ideals.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking about it more from a science perspective. And when we
yeah. Science perspective, getting my moose together.
We look at the perhaps less than ideal scientific environment, that has shifted across aisles where perhaps 20, 30 years ago, it was more.
You see how many words he's used and not actually said anything important or interesting at all. He's just kind of like, he said about 25 words and none of it has held any value.
Prevalent on the liberal side of things. Now it's kind of overreached into the libertarian conservative side of thought. So I'm curious, when you're speaking to someone in Hollywood.
Thank God we ended that early. I think Dr. Mike's an asshole and a bit up his own ass. I think he thinks he's a Hollywood star. It's like, you're a YouTuber, pal. Come on.
I just watched Star Wars Episode 1, 2, and 3 for the first time.
I wonder if those were the first 3 that she went with, but God bless you, lady.
Because my boyfriend wanted me to,
Okay.
and I know people are a really big fan of Anakin, so I was kind of
Isn't that funny? We'd never thought that growing up.
excited to watch him and see him turn into Darth Vader. And in Episode 2, I wasn't like his biggest fan because I was like, wow, he's just like an annoying, whiny
You're correct.
teenager. but I was like really excited for episode 3 because I was like, this is it. And then I watched him kill a bunch of kids. So I would say I'm not the biggest fan.
Yeah, we all kind of gloss over that, unless you're one of them those kids kind of guys.
Start with a move popularized by Fosse.
Fosse dance tutorial. This doesn't necessarily have to do directly with movies per se, but Bob Fosse himself, famously a choreographer in many a film. And I just saw 5 seconds of this and thought, holy shit, this is funny. I'm going to watch this and save it for TikTok Trash Tuesday and let you enjoy whatever this is.
Jazz hands. Not one to rest on his laurels, Fosse kept innovating with moves like jazz neck, jazz crotch, and jazz dinner. Next, try soft-boiled egg hands, a Fosse technique that can be found in his routines. The rich man's frug, and someone gave whiskey to the orangutan. Then, move on to the broken doll walk. You'll have mastered this move when you look like you're trying to rush aboard a subway train while keeping a chocolate cream egg in your beehole. Now you can blaze through the full repertoire of Fosse steps. The rake, the drip, the crane kick, baby made of noodles. Turn down your TV, Mrs. Rosenbaum, but downstairs neighbors lament.
Downstairs neighbors lament. Is this
Sis boom sass, razzle-ma-flares, farfoof and kerzow, and I can quit taking these diet pills anytime I want. This is your gal Barbara saying, diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle-a-diddle, that jazz, oh!
Thanks, Barbara. Holy shit, that's funny. Oh, man. And I can kick.
Say the world's changing.
If Arthur Guthrie did the opening narration for Lord of the Rings.
And I have to agree. You see, I have recently sensed disruptions in the earth, air, water, and all other critical elements of our natural habitat. See, it all started with the Dark Lord Sauron. You remember Sauron. See, what Sauron had done was take it upon himself to go full Zale's outlet and make a whole mess of rings. Magic ones, no less.
Magic ones.
No small task, I'm sure. He gave 3 of them to the elves. Nice bunch of folks. 7 more to the dwarf lords, always digging and scratching in the dirt for treasure of the material persuasion. And 9 rings were gifted to the kings of men, who, as I'm sure you know, desire power above all else, but they were all of them deceived. For another ring was made. Yes, it turns out that the Dark Lord Sauron out there in Mordor, with all his orcs and trolls and ring wraiths and all other kinds of mean and nasty things, had gone and made his own master ring to rule them all. And that was the One Ring. You remember the One Ring. This is a story about the One Ring.
Hey, listen, if Gladrill's on break, Guthrie could fill in. My hotel security guy came by last night and told me about the musician who was doing the downstairs neighbor's lament at another property. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Twice on the pipes if the answer is no. Hey, everybody, hit that like and subscribe, damn it.
Miss Mandela effect, why would he? There is a snake in my boot. A lot of people remember it being a snake in my boot.
That's because it is. As someone who was there in the original, and has been there ever since, and has seen the movie and sees a scene in the movie. There is a snake in my boot. Are you stupid?
But apparently in this timeline, he says there's a snake in my boots, which doesn't make sense.
There's no abs.
Why would it not make sense? He's a cowboy. A cowboy wouldn't find a snake in his boot. What are you talking about? Cowboy falls asleep on the plains and a snake crawls in his boot. Sounds like the most obvious thing that could ever be. No?
Seen Toy Story a million times.
There's a snake in my boot. Why would it be anything else? Yes. That is clearly what he just said.
What the
What did Maybe I'm a dipshit. Hold on. We're going back. We're going back. We're going back. I got it. Am I fucking retarded? I mean, I know the answer is yes to that one, but come on.
The nasty things had gone and made his own master ring to rule them all, and that was the One Ring. You remember the One Ring? This is a story about the One Ring.
I want to make sure I hear this guy's argument for this thing correctly.
Miss Mandela effect, why would he? There is a snake in my boot. A lot of people remember it being a snake in my boot, but apparently in this timeline, he says there's a snake in my boots, which doesn't make sense.
There's no way. I've seen Toy Story a million times.
Are we, is it singular versus plural? Is that what are we fucking over? Okay.
What the
Okay. This next one's great. I am so happy that you're here because this is probably going to get struck down because of the music and the background and everything. But I'm glad that you're here to watch it live because it's very funny. I sent this to the HMP group chat yesterday. And even Sean himself, the hard-hearted Sean that he is, thoroughly enjoyed this. And I hope you do too.
Hi there, I'm Bobo. I'm here to audition for the part of Obi.
Actually, we have you reading for the part of Chewbacca.
Yeah, saw that. But, you know, I think it's a little on the nose, if you know what I mean. So, you know, I'm just going to do the Obi-Man thing.
Okay. Slate, Bobo audition, Star Wars Episode 3.
Nice job. Okay. Ani, you were the chosen one. It was said that...
All right, cut.
What? Wait, I wasn't done. Okay, here's this Yogi fella. Careful you must be when sensing the future. What is this guy, dyslexic or something?
Cut.
Okay, all right, you're gonna love this one. This is good. Who am I?
Cut.
I am Dark Vader.
Cut.
Okay, I gotta get this off.
Isn't this great? Because like the Jim Henson stuff is so awesome because you forget that you're watching a puppet. You know, it's just like you believe Bobo as a character.
Okay, now I'm the bad guy, Poopadoopus. Okay, only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi.
All right, cut.
Ooh,
cut,
I'm creepy.
cut.
Okay, I'm just gonna borrow him. Just let me borrow him for a second. Hold on. Okay, who am I? Luke, I'm so scared. Luke.
What are you doing?
Princess Leia. Leia.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, I got another one.
I got another one.
I'm that computer guy.
Just do Chewbacca.
Great. Okay, fine. Chewbacca. Let me do Chewbacca. Okay, good deal.
Okay.
Okay. All right, you happy? He doesn't even say anything in the door.
One of the most underrated Muppets ever, man. My favorite recently was when he was at a wrestling event and showed up as Miss Piggy's bodyguard.
Disney might be removing the Star Wars sequels from the Star Wars timeline, at least.
I don't think that they're going to do all of that. I don't think they need to. I think they just need to move on. We need to stop trying to right a ship that is already capsized. You can't do it. The genie is out of the bottle. The toothpaste cannot go back into the tube. We're done. It's about time we just wrap that one on up. Try something else, and if it doesn't work, maybe we just kill Star Wars for a bit.
That's what a new rumor suggests Disney might be doing.
Oh, so some asswipe on the internet said it, and we get to report as if it's actual news. Super!
Stating, if true, this would be one of the most dramatic franchise shifts in modern Hollywood.
It won't happen. It won't happen. Because to do that would be to admit that you're wrong. And I don't know what you know about Hollywood, but they cannot admit when they were wrong. Even when it is blatantly in their face, they cannot admit they were wrong. So that's never going to happen.
History in which it would, but many people have commented stating that that's what Star Wars needs right now, a dramatic shift. And also people are now with this.
So change the story, change the location, change the time, get away with it. Everyone and their mother wants the New Republic. You have so much bullcrap to choose from. Do that. If you wanted it something that people already know, choose Kyle Kestis shit. Figure it out. The world is so blatantly obvious in front of you, and you can't put two and two together. You don't deserve to do well with Star Wars because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't deserve to do well with it because you don't have clue one how to make Star Wars successful. And I hate to tell you, it's a lot of just making the same shit, but you got to do it different. It's same but different. That's what you guys just don't understand. You want to go different, but I add a little bit of the same. You want to do same, but add a little bit of different. There's a difference.
Report pointing out the Nielsen's top 10 for most streamed Star Wars titles, pointing out that no sequels made this top 10 list.
Why would they?
List is Andor, A New Hope, The Phantom Menace, The Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, Star Wars, Tales of the Underworld, and 10 Star Wars, The Clone Wars.
You take out the new stuff, and doesn't that just totally make about sense? You know, given the dynamic, given the ages of everyone involved at this point, yeah, it makes sense.
Not a single sequel there. We have the originals, we have the prequels, we have some shows, but no.
Yeah, and the shows are there because they're new and people are checking out the new stuff. But if those shows didn't exist, it would all be old stuff, nothing new.
No sequels. And also fans are pointing out that the Rey trilogy that is supposed to happen in Rian Johnson.
Oh my God. I again, I hope those don't happen. Nothing against the actress. But like, we got to get out, man. We got to get out. The house is on fire, guys. We got to get out.
Trilogy seem to be stuck in development right now, which could be because Disney might be planning to simply make these sequels kind of disappear from the main Star Wars storyline.
Good. Just make them do. No, that's not what they're going to do. They just need to. You can't go back to the well again and go like, but do you like me this time? No. No, you don't get second chances at bat. You don't. You guys screwed the pooch. You didn't think far enough in advance. You didn't plan your stuff out, and the movies came out haphazardly. Again, Hollywood will die at its own hands.
And the plan would actually be to focus on the original characters. What do you think about this? Should Disney do this or not? And would it save Star Wars?
No, none of this will save Star Wars. The only way you save Star Wars is getting away from the Skywalker universe. Period. Have other stuff be have the Force be the thing that, you know, surrounds us and binds us and puts all of these things into the land of Star Wars. Make it Star Wars, but don't make me watch the same shit that I've been watching for, you know, in my life, 44 years. Filoni is giving us a New Republic, no doubt. Listen, man, with Filoni being put in charge, I hope it goes in the right direction, but, like, let's be frank, who's holding out hope? I ain't.
If you ever fall asleep in a movie theater, and when you wake up everybody has gone and the exit has disappeared, you are not safe.
I'm telling you, I have been in these movie theaters. I've been in like there was a Cinnabar that closed down like in Myrtle Beach. So I drove from like Charlotte to Myrtle Beach just to go and pick up stuff from this theater and everything. And just walking through this abandoned theater that I'd never been in before that looked somewhat like my theater, but different, and all up through their rooms and catacombs and all the different places and stuff in there where no one was at and everything was just abandoned and gone. It is creepy and cool.
Please listen carefully to the following rules. 1. Do not try to remember the movie you were watching.
Man, we got this. I had a server come in one night when we were closing, and he goes, this is how he talked to this guy's name's Jack. He goes, there's a guy in Theater 6 who's like, he might be dead. And I knowing who Jack was, I knew that he probably wasn't dead, and he was probably exaggerating just a little bit. So I was like, dude, what? He's like, God, man, he hasn't moved. I was like, the lights are on, we're cleaning, and like he's not moving. I'm like, okay, let's go in there. So we go in, and this guy is like, well, he's finally awake. He's on the opposite side of where the door is and everything, just walking around, clearly just rip shit drunk. I mean, just blotto. And we were like, hey, man, you all right? Everything okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You all right? You need this? You want me to call you a cab or something? Say, oh, I got it. Then he forgot his glasses at some point, had to go back in. Then he went to use the restroom. Promptly peed all over the floor. Luckily, we have a cleaning crew at night, so I was just like, that's somebody else's problem, and we just left. But yeah, man, some people can wake up and after a little bit of a stupor, not know quite where they are in the movie theaters. I've seen it happen.
If you do, the screen will start showing it again, but with you in it. 2. Leave your seat immediately. If you hear a voice whisper, shush, as you get up, stand still for exactly 17 seconds and then keep going. 3. Ignore all exit signs. If you pass the same movie poster more than once, stop, close your eyes, count to 32 and then go back the way you came. 4. Do not be tempted to follow any laughter you hear from Theater 4, no matter how happy it sounds. Remember...
And Theater 4 was by the liquor, so, you know, you could be having a lot of fun at Theater 4, I'll tell you that.
There is no audience left here. To escape, you will need to find the projectionist's office. If you see a blue...
That's upstairs.
Blue light under the door, don't wait, don't hesitate, just knock. But if the light is red, I'm so sorry.
Okie doke. Is this an Exit 8 thing? I don't know. This is like it's like all these other, like, you know, AI backrooms-esque sort of blah bitty blah.
I feel we've been the victim of false advertising.
Not the update we wanted to give.
If you saw this on a page, what screen do you think you would be seeing Jaws in?
I believe that you would be seeing Jaws on an IMAX screen. One would think more than likely, at least in my opinion, it would probably be a Fomax screen, probably not a traditional 6 foot tall screen, just on account of there's not many of them. So my guess is this would be a large Fomax screen. Yes.
Okay? Because we thought we were seeing it in IMAX. And I'm sure in the finer details, Odeon, I'm sure it was clear in the finer details, but we didn't look at
Only in select theaters.
to the finer details. So we thought we were seeing it in IMAX. And it was not. I know you only see 4 minutes of shark in Jaws, but I wanted to see them big in IMAX.
It was sadly no Max, but it was very good.
Then it kept on going, we're going to need a bigger screen, which was funny.
Some of the clues that it wasn't IMAX. 1, regular price. 2, it didn't say
1, regular price. Yeah, that'll do it.
IMAX anywhere apart from that poster.
No, the big poster said IMAX.
It did.
I mean...
It also said 3D on there, but we didn't really question.
Let me tell you, I have seen Jaws in 3D, and it is spectacular. They did a really, really great 3D conversion with Jaws. Like, there's ones that are just super sloppy and stuff. They took their time with that. I don't know if Spielberg himself was involved, but the 3D version of Jaws, if you get a chance to see that in theaters, please do. It is worth it. It is. I thought it was going to be corny and cheesy. It was good. It was very good. It's not. It just adds just the right kind of amount of depth and everything. Very nice. Highly recommended.
We didn't look at that, but I was like, the sharks are going to be massive. And we both looked at the screen and we were like, is this the IMAX screen?
It was really funny. When we walked in and sat down, we went, IMAX?
And then the advert came on that was like, turn your phones off for the big screen. And it was like, not really a big screen.
I was like, it could have been a bigger screen.
Anyway,
still
great.
Such a good movie. Steven Spielberg's got a future.
Yeah, I will say that if you can and you have not, do yourself the biggest of favors. And if you see Jaws playing anywhere, go see it on the big screen. I've seen it on the big screen no less than 6 times. And every time it is great. Every time you still hear audiences jumping in the exact same places and stuff, even though they know what's coming up and stuff. It's really, really great. It's just worth seeing, and like it is a different experience having, even if you're not on a non-IMAX, but it's a big screen, there's still something about seeing that shark and stuff up on the screen that it hits different. It just hits different, man. Seems like the lovely young film going couple. Yeah, he does a lot of cool little serious things on TikTok talking about trends and shit that if you're old like me, you watch because you're just like, what's he talking about? What were the kids talking about these days? All right, let's get it. We got just a couple more left.
How many Star Wars movies?
Nope, this is it. This is the last one. Oh, the Rat King himself has come in to close out the show here for us. Disney wants to delete their Star Wars movies. Asmongold reacts, and I react to Asmongold. Let's go.
Movies are announced and killed this past decade. A focus group on Star Wars as 5, 17, and 18-year-olds show no interest. How are you feeling about Star Wars? I like the old stuff, but the new stuff, nah, I'm not too excited for The Mandalorian. I've never watched it.
See, that's a shame, too, because that's one of the few good things that they have been doing. The first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian are really, really good. Now, again, when we start getting into more of the Star Wars sauce in season 3 and whatnot, it's when things kind of turn bad. I don't know what that whole segment was about here. I will almost go so far as to call it a Martez Sisters moment in Mandalorian season 3. Where we send Grogu off to, go to Jedi school or whatever for 5 whole fucking minutes. And then he comes back and he's just like, yeah, I want to be with you. Fucking what? Like, why have any of that? It was such a waste of time, honestly. But like, I can see it, man. If you're a young kid, what's Star Wars doing for you right now?
Anything that came out after I was born isn't that... They're so based. Oh my god. Anything that came out after I was born isn't that great. Star Wars has been quiet lately, but I liked Andor a lot. A lot of people liked Andor.
Yeah, Andor's good.
Baby Yoda is creepy, like an animatronic.
First of all, yeah, he is animatronic, which is great. And I like that he's animatronic because they shamed him. They shamed them into doing that when they had Werner Herzog on set. He was like, "You will not be doing this as a puppet. You are a coward." And they were like, "Oh shit, Werner Herzog calls us a fucking coward. We better have this puppet in the show 90% of the time." It's great. The puppet's great. It's one of the good things they've been doing.
I hate to break it to you. Oh, wow. So everybody just totally hates this. Tempered expectations for Star Wars. The man opened lower than the box office and bombed Solo, a Star Wars story. That is.
I don't know. That's like, there has been part of me that has thought about it a little bit, and it was just like, has it been too long since the last season of Mandalorian? Is there a fever pitch for this? Do people care anymore? I don't know. I really don't.
It's embarrassing. It's $65 million, which would set this Disney. Wait a minute. So this is even worse than the previous flops once, but they've never flopped like this. Oh my God. It's a tax write-off? I guess so. This is insane. So The Force Awakens opened to $936 million. 6 years of Canada-era movies, 3 seasons of Mandalorian, and the first theatrical Star Wars in 6 years may open a film below box office. Is Disney's Star Wars brand beyond repair? I think that it is. I think that this is a really... Now, what is this? This movie is a commercial. It's a commercial for the Baby Yodas, right? Like, it's whatever its name is, Grogu or something like that. It's just simply a commercial.
Yeah, it's a commercial for the toys that they're going to sell. It's a commercial for the next show that they'll do with Grogu and all this other crap. It's become the comic bookification of Star Wars and media in and of itself, where it is the product that you're currently enjoying is only a product to sell you to the next product. And that next product will do the exact same thing for the next product that is to go after that. Repeat until you've absolutely killed the genre.
Anybody else care about it? Let me see what this is. To remove Star Wars sequel trilogy from timeline and refocus on the original characters. Wait, they're just going to say never mind? If they're Hollywood history. Oh my God. They're just going to get rid of it. Retcon the entire thing?
No, they'll never do it. They don't have the cojones to do it, and they shouldn't do it because you know what? You made your bed, now lie in it. You've done this to Star Wars. It is your own fault. Again, Hollywood will die by its own hand. The killer is in the house, and he is Hollywood in and of himself. Look in the mirror. The problem is you, Hollywood. The problem is you. And I've said it before, you could stop making movies right now and we would still have enough movies that we could watch a brand new movie every single day from now until the end of our own personal days here on Earth. And you know what? We could do it and never skip a movie. There's that many movies that are out there. So we're good. We're good with movies, but we don't need you as much as you might think that we do. Between movies and TV shows, we set. I don't trust this tracking stuff, but I'm not familiar with it either. In this movie, we will get to see the in this movie we will get to see the monsters from the game. Chewbacca and R2 played at the Falcon, and kind of wait. Yeah, geez, I can't wait to see where those chess pieces were from and everything, what their backstories were. Thank God we can finally get to the bottom of it. Only way to win me back is to kill Mando. I would not be shocked if Mando dies at the end of this. I feel like that's the way to kind of get out of this. I think it's also pretty stupid, though, because at the end of the day, you could just keep rolling with this and have John Wayne's, grandson in there and Pedro just doing the voice and stuff because he's not going on screen. I'm fairly certain he takes the helmet off in this one to earn a paycheck and whatnot, but he ain't in that suit most of the time. And he ain't in that way in the show either. And I don't like him taking the helmet off, to be quite frank. helmet should be staying on. That's kind of the whole fucking point. They make a strong point of it being the point of the thing. But I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. We're gonna watch it for the podcast here and everything because it's what we do. Thank God for Poloni. But listen, man. I'll be straight honest with you. I thought Kathleen Kennedy was going to be a fantastic job for her too. Just long time, Spielberg and Lucas producer and everything, is attached to some of the most successful films of all time. Who knew she would be screwing it up this bad? It is what it is. We can all we can do is hope, everybody. And I hope that you have had a good time on this podcast this week as we've reached the end of yet another TikTok Trash Tuesday. 2.5 hours of yapping, sweet baby Jane. I tell you what, well, I appreciate all of you being here, hitting that like and subscribe button, coming back to us on Sunday evening right here at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're talking Thelma and Louise from one Ridley Scott. You ever heard of that guy? He ain't half bad. So we're going to be talking about Thelma and Louise on this week's episode of HMP. Then after that, we're going to be talking... Pardon me. We'll be talking The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and that will lead us into the aforementioned Mandalorian Grogu. So we'll be checking all of that good stuff out there as well. So that is it, everybody. We will see you guys all next week. Let me hit the music here while we get this all out. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hitting like, subscribe, all that good jazz. See you on Sunday night. I love you. Bye-bye now.